Good evening, Master Tanaka. Good evening. Good evening to everyone here. Good evening. I am Master Gautama Buddha, and as always, I come here to this house with much joy, with much gratitude in my being, with much gratitude for all of you who are here to receive our energies. Our energies are always available to all of you. They are always present in your being. And this is something that all of you should be aware of 24 hours a day. Because our energy is always present in your being, but you don't perceive it. You, I will say, often neglect it. You may be thinking, how can we be neglecting the energy of the beings of light? But when you don't recognize in yourselves the energy of God, the power of God, the strength of this energy that we call love, you are neglecting our energies. Our energies are there to be used for any change that needs to be made in your life, for any healing that needs to be done in your life, for anything that is enhancing to your life, it is available. But you don't use it. You just ignore it. You don't even perceive it in your being. And all of this, I tell you, is within this recognition, is within the determination as Master Tanaka was explaining to you. It's all within recognizing yourselves as true children of the light. But what happens with you? You recognize your dark side. You recognize this illusion. The dark side, it never existed. It exists only within your consciousness. That is why this dark side manifests in your life. Because only what is being recognized within your consciousness is what is allowed to manifest. That is why the Master himself tells you that permission is not given through a simple word, through an essence without having the real notion, without having the real conviction inside. What does this inner resolve that he has been explaining to all of you mean? It is in this belief. It is in really believing in your power. It is in really believing in what the energy of love consists of. The energy of love must never be used to create friction, to create antagonism, to create all these illusions that you are experiencing. When you create these illusions within your being, you experience them in your outer world. For today, you are incarnated here on earth. So, you get to experience these illusions in your lives. What does this mean energetically? It means a total abandonment of the energy of love. Because within the energy of love, it is never allowed to create these lacks, to create the shortcomings that you create in your lives. So, what you can realize is that what you have accomplished so far is simply to abandon, to neglect, to ignore the energy of love. This energy that is present here, that has always been present in your lives. When you refuse to acknowledge yourselves as children of God, when you refuse to acknowledge yourselves as God Himself, that you are God in your lives. But many still take this as an affront, as an untruth. But see, what we here on the spiritual plane are always bringing to you, that you are unique, that you have the power to create in your own lives. So what does this mean? It means that you are God in your lives. But from the moment you recognize that you are God, you raise your energetic level. You raise it because you recognize the oneness you are living in. You are all God. You are all one energy, and there lies the recognition of the power that is filling the universe. Therein is the recognition of you stepping into your light path. Therein is the recognition of working for the light. Understand, working for the light is so simple. It requires no effort on your part. It requires no sacrifice on the part of any of you. But working for the light requires a change. It requires a shift from all those paradigms you carry around. It requires a shift from recognizing yourself as you truly are. To stop recognizing illusions and to recognize truths. This is the only change that is needed from all of you. But look, this demand, as you may be interpreting it, is not from us who are on the spiritual plane towards you who are here on the earthly plane incarnated. This demand comes from deep within your being, because this being that dwells here within, in the core of each and every one of you, it demands this, because this is his true expression. So, I tell you that it is impossible for you to manifest God, manifest light, manifest your true essence if you don't make these changes. And these changes, from the moment you allow yourselves to bring them into your life, begin to occur in a very fluid way, in a very cadenced way. Because this is God's energy. Because from the moment you bring it into your being, all the harmony that exists, because everything is energetic movement, all the harmony of this energetic movement, it begins to act in your life. And what does harmony of an energetic movement mean? It is everything being done in a cadenced way. It doesn't require any effort. It requires none of the things you are thinking in your rational mind. All that is within a true surrender. This is the determination. It is a surrender that comes from within your being when you give up this individuality, when you give up this personality of yours. Often, what happens in this cadence movement? You spontaneously renounce all these Akashic records that are filling your being. All these Akashic records which cause you to manifest limiting beliefs, which cause you to manifest today everything that you are presenting here on planet Earth. It is all in this surrender that you allow yourself to do. I tell you that surrender is never done within your rational mind. Surrender is done in the silencing of your being. That is why the silencing of the self is a way, is an instrument for you to achieve your objectives. Because if there is no silencing of your being, the surrender that you may imagine you are doing is not true. It is a surrender that will be shaped within this consciousness of your being today. And what you are here proposing to accomplish is to change this consciousness of being. But as Master Tanaka himself is always advising you, the changing of the consciousness of being is not done in a rational way. The change of the consciousness of being is done through the silence of your being. It is done through meditation. That is why we, on the spiritual plane, are always asking you to do meditations. Allow yourselves to know yourself. Allow yourselves to know your own energy. Because how will you know what you're giving up if you don't know yourself? How can you deliver if you don't know what you are delivering? So, if you don't do the silencing of the self and do the surrender in a rational way, you are boycotting yourselves. You are again neglecting the energy of love. So if until today You were not aware that you were doing this in your lives. Today, you already possess this awareness. So be vigilant. Be vigilant to yourselves. I know that none of you wants to neglect the energy of love. So simply acknowledge it in your life. There is no difficulty. It is simply recognizing the energy of love in your life. When you begin to recognize this energy of love, you will begin to realize that your attitudes will change, your thoughts will change, your feelings will also change. Because before, you did not recognize the energy of love. And now you recognize the energy of love, and it begins to act in your life. So, you have a yardstick to know whether you are really recognizing the energy of love or whether you are still neglecting love. So be ever vigilant towards yourselves. Be vigilant out of love, not out of obligation. Be vigilant simply because you want to recognize this energy in your being, your true energy that remains neglected, that remains hidden within your being. Allow this energy to manifest again and bring it to yourself. Bring it visibly into action in your life. The energy of love, many think is not visible. It is visible. When it begins to act in your life, the energy of love is visible. Therefore, I, Master Buddha, am telling you, you have the means to perceive that love, the energy of love, is acting in your being. So don't get lost in daydreaming. Don't get lost in creating concepts that what love energy is. Don't get lost in these banalities. Be focused on your being and always keep in mind that the workings of the energy of love are visible. This will make sure that you are always focused. It will keep you from getting lost in daydreams. Because until today, you have all allowed yourselves to have these reveries, to have these illusions of thinking that you are allowing the love energy into your lives. Because you were believing that it would not be visibly perceptible. And today, you have this knowledge. So you have one more tool to make your changes. So always be centered in your own being. Always be centered in your energy and don't neglect it anymore. Don't allow yourself to neglect it. So today, with much gratitude for all of you being here open to receive our guidance, I say goodbye with much gratitude. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.